Fans around the world, thank you for joining us once again here on Talkin Fight for another episode of the Friday Night Panel. Coming up on nearly 3 years, unbelievably, eh? But here we are, and what a weekend!
Oh my God!
Yeah. I don't know where you want to start. But,
I know where I want to start.
Okay,
where do you?
All right, you guys start. All right, you guys can start.
Honestly, let's just start it off with the big talk. It's got to be the Usyk Dubois fight. The date is set, August 26th, guys. This is a much anticipated, unified heavyweight title showdown between Usyk and Dubois. This one live on ESPN Plus, streaming right from Poland, beginning at 5 p.m. Eastern, guys. Remember, 5 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
This one's going to be great, man. Usyk is gearing up to protect his WBA, WBO, and IBF world titles against WBA mandatory contender Daniel Dubois. The showdown is slated for Saturday, guys. So make sure you mark this one on your calendars, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm loving this one. For Usyk, this isn't just another fight. The experienced 36-year-old Southpaw views this matchup as a stepping stone towards his goals of becoming an undisputed champion in 2 weight classes, right? The fact that this event is set to happen during the Ukrainian Independence Day weekend only amplifies its magnitude. Guys, I know you have seen it. If you haven't, check out the social media. Usyk has been all over social media with this one, guys. His rise from cruiserweight to heavyweight is a testament to his exceptional talent and grit. This 2-time Olympian and 2012 gold medalist boasts an unembellished professional record of 20 wins, 13 of which are coming by knockout. Ever since turning pro in 2013, Usyk has made his mark in the boxing world, snagging the WBO cruiserweight world title as early as 2016. He didn't stop there. In 2018, he cemented his dominance by becoming that undisputed champion in that cruiserweight division. First clinching the WBC title against Marius Briedis, then securing the WBA and IBF belts from Gassiev. And then, he stepped into that heavyweight scene, and you know what he did, man? Look what he did. Let's be real. He came into that heavyweight scene and, made himself known and made it in a big way. So much so that this is all we've been talking about since, the rematch, that he still kept those belts. So big weekend for him. This one's great. Some good fights coming up on this undercard, guys. Really, this is going to be a lengthy one. On the co-main event, you got Daniel Lapin is taking on Arya Schwartz. This one's for the IBO Continental Light Heavy title. This one's vacant, guys. Lapin, this is going into his 8th fight. He's ranked 225th in that light heavyweight division, and he's taking Arya Schwartz, who is ranked 324th. He's sporting a record of 26-1. So this is going to be your co-main event, guys, for the title. There's also, there's kind of like 3 co-main events because there are 3 straps up for grabs other than the 4 straps that are on this card. Bernacek taking on Yajit for the WBO International Light. That one is going to be great, man. I can't wait to see that fight. And then we got Dmitro Matrovanov taking on Hamza Shiraz. Guys, Hamza Shiraz, I've been telling you about this kid for some time in that middleweight division. He is going to be fighting for the WBC silver middle title against Dmitro. This one's going to be great, man. Shiraz, 17-0. Really like the way this kid fights, man. He's ranked 13th right now in the world in that middleweight division. He's ranked 3 in the UK out of 113. This 6'3", 24-year-old man, he's, his last fight, TKO'd River Wilson Bent in the second round. If you guys don't remember that was for the Commonwealth and WBC silver middle titles. So, guys, I know I've been talking a lot. Let's discuss this card. I have 4 minutes of me just doing this. Just seemed like I need to give it a break. So, your thoughts?
Go ahead, Neil. You did a show, Boxing 101, on this. You're primed. What are your thoughts?
Good evening, guys. Thanks again for having me out. I really appreciate it. Nice to see you again. Yeah, well, like Mike was saying, for a weekend, there's a lot of fights going on, but obviously the big one is going to be the Usyk Dubois fight. And Usyk is one of those guys. I've been watching him, as we all have been, since he was a cruiserweight, a unified champion. Now he went to the heavyweight division. I think, to be honest with you, the more I think about it, I hate to say it, but they're just priming him up for that Fury Usyk Saudi Arabian thing that the Saudi Arabians got up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I'm just looking at it as a whole. I mean, I like Dubois. He's definitely a good fighter and stuff. But there's something that gives me the inclination that Usyk, they got something planned. All right, and it just didn't work out the first. Why they weren't able to fight it. So this is kind of like a prepper, I think, to that. So I think it's going to be a great fight. Obviously, they both came in great condition. Dubois was at one of, which will tell you that he's planning to move a little bit more. I know that Usyk came in at a 220 and a half, and Dubois came in at 233, which is quite a number of pounds below what he normally fights at. So his power probably won't be diminished. But again, I think his strategy is to try to stay in there because Usyk is more of a full rounded fighter. Usyk doesn't knock a lot of guys out. He does, but he's more of a look at his last couple fights, right, guys? Unanimous decisions, split decision, unanimous decision. So I think this is going to be a pretty long drawn out fight. I'm probably going to think it's going to be Usyk, unanimous decision, something of that sort. And if Dubois can get that lucky punch, because we all know he has the power to do it, that's what he's going to look for. He's going to hopefully use his lighter weight to move around the ring because Usyk is a power pressure fighter. You know, he can throw punches from all angles. He throws combinations like left, right, straight lefts, uppercuts, all kinds of stuff where Dubois more relies on that power punch. So it's going to be an interesting fight. I honestly think it will be. I'll be definitely looking forward to it. Now, I had a question for Mike or yourself, Graham. Did anybody hear about Prince Nazim's son? Did they find a guy to fight him?
Last I saw, it was still TBA.
Yeah.
The one interesting thing I'll say about this Dubois Usyk fight is Dubois came out in the press and said something really silly. He said, Usyk's an old man, and and basically I'm going to crush him. And he went on further to say, I'm going to use by any means necessary. So someone pointed out it's going to be really up to the referee here to make sure that Dubois isn't getting away with shenanigans. But one of the things that someone else pointed out was that he said the same thing about Joe Joyce, who broke his orbital bone back in 2020 and stopped that fight. So Dubois, I would say, known for doing his talking, but not, he's only had that one loss against Joe Joyce, and Usyk's undefeated in his career. Dubois is a couple inches taller, a couple of pounds heavier. But then I think so is Anthony Joshua when he got clobbered twice by Usyk. I remember going into that first fight saying, "Oh, Joshua's got this. He's bigger. He's powerful. He's got that longer reach."
But also had 15 months out of the ring.
Right.
And then came out to Rocky.
Right.
Yeah. Do that. Don't do that, man. That's jinxing yourself right there, man.
So those are some of the things that I heard. And it was interesting to hear the comments back from the boxing fans themselves. We've got long memories, and Dubois is going to be, I think, a long night. I don't think it's going to be as easy as he thinks. No. But ultimately, I do think he will lose. And I agree with you, Neil. I think it's a setup for the Fury fight. Then a lot of people are wondering, is Fury really going to be able to beat Ngannou? Like at the end of the day, like that's no small challenge.
No, he hits like a Ford Fiesta at 60 kilometers an hour.
Yeah, man. Like that's not going to be an easy fight for Fury. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what does happen.
The other thing, guys, I want to point out is it is in Poland, right? And you can imagine the number of Ukrainian people that are in Poland right now.
Yeah, we mentioned that last week, if you recall. Yeah, so
there is going to be a serious, following for Usyk. He's already a national hero.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
On every level. So I get right there, and Dubois is kind of going into very hostile territory, trying to fight a guy basically who's got the crowd behind him. There's so much. We've seen it all year long, guys. How this has been going with with how they're setting up some of these big mega fights, and they're they I the first time, so they needed to keep Usyk kind of something to do, I guess. You know what I mean? Hey, Dubois got a chance, but I really do think it's they're really hoping to have that Fury Usyk super fight, right?
They have to. They have to. That's what you don't understand. They have to.
Right.
There has been no undisputed heavyweight champion since the introduction of the fourth belt. We have not seen it. There has been no undisputed heavyweight champion since 2004. The last one was the three belt era, and that was none other than the Canadian British fighter, Lennox Lewis.
Yep. Lennox Louis.
Little shout out to Carl there. But yes, this is a must. This has to happen. You know what? I'll tell you though, Dubois moves. He's got some great action. He's got good footwork.
He looks good.
Heavy hands. He's fast. He's been out of the limelight for a long time. We have not been talking to him. He's been staying really low key.
He beat Kevin Larena, right?
Yeah.
Last. Yeah.
And I'll tell you, he's got a lot in the tank, man. And we haven't really seen much of him. So, what has he been doing? What has he been working on? There's a lot of things that he could possibly show up here with in this fight. Some new tools in his repertoire, and he might be able to shock the world and put Usyk on his ass, because he definitely has the ability to. It's whether or not he can capitalize on that ability, because don't forget, Usyk, once he gets on that inside, is really good at playing those angles from side to side, and that's how he picked apart Anthony Joshua both times. Follow that shot back into the body, boom, stay on that inside, 1-2, come to the side, turn that angle, bang, bang, bang. That's what he kept doing the whole time. And you know what? Usyk is a very smart fighter. This is going to be, I think it's going to be a little more technical than a lot of people think it's going to be. I think it probably will go the distance. It's going to come down to points. Yeah, man. I'm going to say, if it goes to points, I'm going to say Usyk takes it. But you never know. It could be a stoppage, and if it's going to be a stoppage, I think it might be Dubois that's taking this one away.
One of the other boxing fans pointed out, you were mentioning the new styles or new techniques, if you will, that Dubois is being taught and trained. And then someone said, "Yeah, but you don't want to test him out against Usyk."
No, true.
You're going into battle with a very hard man.
He's a veteran,
right? And anyway, so it might not be the right opponent to be testing.
You're getting in the ring with a man that was willing to put down his gloves, pick up a gun, and go and kill people for his country.
True.
Right? He's not afraid of a battle.
Can I mention one more quick thing, guys? Mr. Mike, Mike, sure. Can I mention something else? Graham, sorry about this.
Yeah, go for it.
I found it very interesting. Unfortunately, Tim is not with us this evening. The first heavyweight fight that Usyk had, moving from cruiserweight to heavyweight, was Iron Witherspoon's second cousin, Chaz Witherspoon. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Chaz Witherspoon is Tim's second cousin. He was the first guy to fight. Usyk only has 4 heavyweight fights under his belt. This is his 4th one.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. No, 1, 2, 3. This is his 5th, I guess.
2 with Joshua.
Chaz.
The first one with Chaz.
Yeah. So he's got. Yeah. So Chaz was the first one, right? And unfortunately, he retired in the 7th round. I mean, but obviously he was up against a unified cruiserweight champion of the world. And he was at 215 pounds in that fight. That was his first heavyweight fight. He's now gained 5.5 pounds of solid muscle. So basically, I was just interested. I was going to ask Tim if he had all about that fight and if he had ever, said anything to him in regards to that. But I thought that was pretty interesting. Chaz was 38-4 in his career, and he retired in 2019. Professional fight was against Usyk. So, interesting. I just found that interesting. Kind of ironic.
Before we move on to the next card, I just want to say that was thanks, Neil. That was great, buddy. I totally forgot that. Yeah. Tim did mention that back in the day, though. He did mention this to us. It's a good, a lot of people don't know that. it's great.
And before you move on, I'll quickly interject then. If Tim were here, there's only one word he'd say.
Defense.
Yes.
Tim's here in spirit. Guys, if you're like me and you love watching these undercards and these prelim fights, these before the bell fights, as you call them, the second fight to open up this card is this kid that I've been watching for a little while. I profiled him a while back. Fedor Suzekian, this kid in that middleweight division, he's ranked 18th right now. He's 22-0, Polish. This kid, man, he impressed me the last time he was out. He took on Elias Enspinadas, and it was a late round TKO. Before that, he won a unanimous decision against Nathaniel Gelmore. So, yeah, be on the lookout for this kid, man. He's only fought a few times on U.S. soil, but I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of this kid. He's ranked 18th right now at 1,577, ranked number 1 in Poland for that middleweight division. He's 22-0, 14 wins coming by way of knockout, 6'1", 72-inch reach, 27-year-old, man. Be on the lookout for him, man. He's on this card. Definitely gets my stamp of approval.
That's it. I like it too, Mike.
That's awesome.
I like it too, Mike.
Like our stamp of approval.
That's it.
Or should it be like this? There's the stamp of approval, guys. That's
there
it.
you go.
But yeah, so let's move on, because honestly, I am super excited for this other card. This is the one that I can't miss. I'm gonna turn my phone off. I'm not even gonna watch this with people next to me, because I don't want to hear people talk. Because this Anderson card, man.
Yeah.
This Anderson card, wow, it is stacked, guys. Stacked. You want to talk about up and comers? Here we go. Anderson, Rudenko, August 26, 10:30 p.m. Guys, this one is live on ESPN. So it's going to be a good one. Jared Anderson, we all know, unbeaten record, 15-0, 14 wins coming by way of knockout. He will be back in action against Ukrainian powerhouse Rudenko. This one, the main event, is scheduled for Saturday, August 26th, under the bright lights of the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Tulsa. Anderson's first fight of 2023. He's making his third appearance. This is going to be great, man. Hot on the heels of the recent win over previous world champion Charles Martin, cheered on by 7,000 strong in that crowd in his backyard of Toledo. So this one, guys, top ranks head honcho Bob Arum has high hopes for Anderson, hitting at that future where, he sees him as, heavyweight championship belt holder. He points out that Rudenko, the experienced Fox, will be a tough nut to crack, though. Bob promises an electric atmosphere with the fans at the Hard Rock. Since turning pro in 2019, Anderson has climbed the ranks with a rapid pace, guys. We've been on him. We've been following him here. Graham, you like him. I pointed him out to you. I've showed you this kid. He's got it, man. He's the first, his first 14 opponents back in 6 rounds or less with Jerry Forrest and undefeated talents like George Arias, Vladimir Tershkin in his hit list, man. Like this kid, he's just been knocking him down. Walking away with a unanimous decision against Martin after 10 intense rounds. Currently sitting 7th in the WBO, 9th in the WBC rankings. Anderson is aiming for the division's big guns, man. Anderson is here. He isn't here, to just be here, man. He's here to make a statement. He's here to dominate. And honestly, I don't think, it might be a tough nut to crack with Rudenko's, as the opponent on the other side of the ring. But I think Anderson's going to put this one away. I think this one's not going the distance. Rudenko is a seasoned veteran with a record of 35-6 with 21 wins coming by way of knockout, but he is 39 years old. He had a flawless 24-0 record before losing to undefeated hopefuls Lucas Brown and Huey Fury. So Rudenko, however, bounced back with 7 back-to-back wins and bagged his first regional title. Recently, he's been giving the sports heavyweights a real challenge, falling short of a decision against previous world champion Alexander Povetkin, current European champion Ajit Kabel, and top shot Zeli Big Bang Zhang. So Rudenko sees this as a golden opportunity, coming in here. this could be a major upset, and if it is, it will put this guy on, the level to start making that climb again. But what an undercard, man! What an undercard. Let's talk about this one. We got F8 Ajagba taking on Zan Kasabunitsky.
Yeah,
it's a big one, man. This is a big one.
Yeah.
Some
big fights, man. Big fights there, Mike.
Big fights. Adding to this excitement, also backdoor Jalaloviv will step into the ring against Nigeria's.
Come on.
Are you ready?
We got him.
Anorod, Owermi,
or Anorod.
Owermi. I guess it is. For his first appearance under the top ranked banner, expect a round from these two promising talents. Ajagba, finally remembered as a 2016 Nigerian Olympian, has a solid reputation as a knockout machine. He was like runner-up for that knockout of the year. I think we gave it to him 2 years ago with that nasty one punch shotgun to the face knockout where Buddy kissed his knee on the way down, man. He was like, his feet never moved and he spun and he hit the ground in the same spot he was standing. It was crazy. Ajagba, this kid, he's got some power in his hands. So, I'm sticking with my man. He's got that one blemish on his record, but I like Ajagba for this one, and I think it's going to be 5-6 round stoppage is where I think it is going to be. But we've got so many fighters on this card, man. We have Bruce Carrington opening up the card. Shushu, this kid, watch out for this kid, man. I've been saying this since this kid turned pro, guys. Now ranked 117th in the world in the featherweight division. Follow that is going to be Nico Ali Walsh. Both these guys are 8-0 right now. Abdullah Mason is on this card as well, ranked 115th in the lightweight division. Man, this kid's 9-0. We got Jeremiah Milton, 10-0 right now, ranked 132 in the heavyweight division. So this card is just, you got the top end of the card, Charlie Shiraz taking on Johan Vasquez. That's a big fight there. Backdoor Jalaloviv, 12-0, taking on his opponent, right? Then we got Zarupov. He's 3-0. I don't really know too much about this kid. He is in the welterweight division. He's 3-0 right now. He is another Kazakhstanian kid. 3-0, 2 wins coming by way of knockout. He's ranked number 2 in Kazakhstan, 215th in the world right now. And Kazakhstan's been putting out these crazy fighters, man. Like, let's talk about that.
About what? The whole card?
All of it. And the fact that Kazakhstan is killing it with these kids. They got a great boxing program over there, man. They're popping these kids in here, and they're just coming in and devastating everybody. It's great.
Yeah. So, something that as we've said often, the British tend to ignore, and completely unrelated, but I'm going to say it anyway, in the hopes that Carl is listening. This goes out to you, Carl, specifically from Last Bell Boxing. There's a Canadian heavyweight. This has nothing to do with this card, but his name is Simon Keane, and he was a Canadian Olympic boxer, as was Lennox Lewis. Anyway, I believe he's undefeated, maybe has one loss to his record, but he was on the undercard of the Beterbiev fight that got canceled or postponed actually. When Beterbiev, and he's been rescheduled. It's been rescheduled to January of 2024. And I just wanted to point out that Simon Keane, a Canadian heavyweight, is on that card. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead. Hey, Tim, how you doing?
Hey, I've been getting on late lately.
That's all right.
Okay. Let me get on here.
How are you?
I'm fine. You get on. There you go. Okay.
There is another card. Before we get Tim talking about everything, and let me just mention this one. It's a small little card guy, Colanzo Diagan. This one, Puerto Rican sensation, El Pupilio. 7-0, 5 KOs, is set to defend his WBO mini flyweight world championship against Garen Hellboy Diagan, who is 10-3 with 5 KOs, hailing from General Santos City in the Philippines. This one's scheduled for Saturday, the 26th. This bout is the first men's world title fight in Puerto Rico in over half a decade.
Wow.
So, yeah, this is huge. The event, a part of Golden Boy Fight Night Series, will broadcast live on DAZN from San Juan. So this one's going to be great. Colazo, also known as El Pollo, has rocketed to prominence among active Puerto Rican boxers, capulated by his spectacular knockout of former title holder Melvin Gringo Jerusalem on May the 27th. His talent, and adaptability, and his lethal left hand, punch, the ex-champion, led to a record-breaking championship fight victory, making him the quickest Puerto Rican to become a world champion, guys. So make sure you watch this one. There's not too many people that you might know on here. I know Angel Acosta's fighting on this one against Carlos Buitrago. We also got Yen Santana is on this one. It's another up and comer in the featherweight division. These small guys, man. This is a small card. The headline is minimum weight. Then we're looking at super fly, light fly, feather, and light. We got a light heavy on this one. Yar Benjamin Gallardo Lozano, 4-0, taking on Kevin Johnson. So that's going to be the opener. That's going to be a heavyweight division. We've got ranked number 229th in the world. Lozano is taking on the no-ranked Kevin Johnson. So that's going to open it up. And then we got some little lightweight and fly guys going to be knocking each other around. So definitely going to be a good one to watch.
Great. Hey, Neil, we kind of skipped over you. Did you have any thoughts on the Top Rank fight?
Yeah, actually, I did have some things to say about it. Absolutely.
Sir, I just wanted to touch on that small one because I know that we're now going to talk mostly about this big card.
Oh.
So let's just talk about the big card now.
Okay.
Hey, Tim, how are you?
I'm sorry.
Can you hear
I
us?
apologize. Go ahead, Neil.
Oh, you can hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
I can hear you. I can hear
let
you.
me hang this up.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So anyways, guys, let's. I had a couple of things to talk about that Mike had just was nice enough and gracious enough to talk about to the Talkin Fight fans here. And I talk about these guys on my show as well. I did a little more research and I found some really interesting stuff on these guys. So Bakodir Jalilov, who is fighting on the undercard, he actually won the gold medal, right? 220 Tokyo Olympics.
Okay.
And he actually beat Torres Jr. on the way to winning that belt. I mean, he beat Jared Anderson in the Olympics, right? Which is interesting. I mean, he's a really big guy. We all know if you've seen him, 6'7", Mike, right? 250 pounds or something. Like, he towers guys, right? But
yeah, I
saw him fight Torres in the finals of the 2020 gold medal match, and Torres is a shorter guy, obviously, but a much shorter guy, and he was getting inside in the first round on him, and Jalilov had a hard time with that style. And all the fights that I've seen him in, he keeps his distance because he has a really long reach. He has a devastating straight left.
81-inch reach, man.
Yeah, he's got a massive reach. Yeah. But these guys, like if they can get inside on a guy that size, and start doing the inside damage, man, he has a hard time with it. I could see, because Torres, and that was in the Olympics, right? He didn't win the fight, obviously, but he gave it a really good shot. You know what I mean? So it'll be interesting to see. He's fighting that Anora Dode
Iwarami? Yeah.
Yeah, who was the World Boxing Federation Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion at one point. I guess I don't know if he is anymore, but he's not a bad fighter. But I really don't think.
Arms. You're talking about somebody with long arms, right?
Long arms, yeah. So I mean, I think this is a stepping stone for Jalilov. Unfortunately, I watched him, and he needs a lot of work. That's all I got.
He's got a big left hand, though, man.
Big left hand, man.
He's got a big left hand. He's got a left hand.
What you mean by big left hand?
He's got big power.
Well, straight left. He's got that straight left. That's really hard.
Yeah, he's got.
Is he southpaw or right hand?
No, he's a southpaw.
Oh, and he got the straight left. Okay.
He's got that 81-inch reach straight left.
Okay.
Right. So that's the thing. Like if A lot of people, because this guy's got 12 wins, 12 by knockout. This guy's 100% finish rate. Okay, this guy's a monster. The thing is he doesn't have his skill level might not be there, but I'll tell you, these guys, in that division, and coming out of where they're coming from, this guy's he's the big Uzbek. Uzbekistan has been producing these crazy fighters lately.
And real quick nowadays, there's nobody to tell the boxer how to deal with that long arm.
Right.
So if you see all these fights today, like we keep going back to Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, they're getting hit with shots. There's nobody to tell them exactly how to get that long hand or how to stay away from it. So he's going to continue on being successful with that. Unless some old timer or somebody smart come up there and go against him.
Prime example of somebody that's hard to
tell you too. Hold on, Mikey. I'll tell you too. Tim Jalalov, I don't know why, but man, he keeps his hands really low. I know we keep talking about it, man, but
how tall is he?
6'7",
6'7", but his hands are always down low, and he's got that long straight left.
Somebody's not telling him to keep him here, or he's comfortable. He's knocking guys out, but there might be somebody out there that show their boxer how to get to him.
Oh, absolutely.
Going to learn defense and offense. I'm telling you.
He needs to learn a lot, but I'm kind of surprised. I mean, he was the Olympic champion, gold medal, super heavyweight champion 2020, right? And Richard Torres Jr., he beat Jared Anderson, we were just saying, in that tournament in the Olympics. And we'll be talking about him a little more in a bit. But and Richard Torres Jr. came in there, and he's a shorter guy, and he got right inside in that first round and did some damage. If you ever watch it, guys out there, Talkin Fight Land or anybody, check it out. But I don't have a lot of confidence in him right now. Anyways, I really don't. I don't think that he's going to have an issue with the opponent.
Could he take a punch?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure, man. He kind of got rocked a few times.
You can take him from time to time. He doesn't have a chin of steel, but he's got a chin. He can take some shots. But see, the thing with him, he's like Zhang, like Big Bang Zhang. He can take those shots. But that thing is when he throws that right jab out and then follows with that huge left in behind it, nobody's expecting that distance, right? Like nobody's expecting him to come forward so far with that 81.
He's been fighting a bunch of shoemakers and garbage men. Trust me, man. Honestly, the guys he's fighting are not really.
That straight left is definitely a punch that's hard.
Oh, it's a good punch
because we see it. Zhang beat Joe Joyce the same way. Ref stoppage. Why? Because Joyce couldn't see anymore out of his eye after he kept running into that big straight.
Oh, Zhang from Japan. From China.
Yeah, Big Zhang. Remember him?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's got that big straight left too, right? Just like this kid does, Jalalov. He's got a big straight left, and he's knocking people out. He's 12-12, man.
Yeah. Well, there's building processes in the early stages of a boxer's career where they're getting you opponents. They don't want to get you somebody that's educated or tough enough. They got to build it up so that fight could become a lot of money down the line.
Exactly.
Nowadays, I think they just putting them. There's nobody to really challenge them undefeated guys that's building up. Down the line, you might see somebody that could challenge them. During our era, there would have been a lot of guys to challenge them, but I seen the guy from China. He's not bad.
He's good. Big Bang Zhang.
So this other guy you was talking about, you think he's better than?
I don't know. He's not as skilled, but he's definitely got that big left hand like Zhang does.
Okay.
Right? He's got that big finish him left hand. It's straight, 81 inches, man. That's a huge reach.
But who is he fighting too? Who is he fighting? That's another thing. They building him up. Did they give him a challenge yet?
He's not really a challenge, man.
Okay.
The guy's 20-2. He's Nigerian. He was inactive for a bit there. His last fight before this one was 2019, so he hasn't been in the ring, and we're talking a couple of years here. So
I wish you guys had the videos so we could talk about it.
I wish we could play the videos and break them down like that. Because
that'd have been nice.
Eventually, we'll get to that. We're working on a way to do that so we can start analyzing these videos.
So he doesn't have defense.
No,
he doesn't. He's in your way of defense. No. In the way you believe a fighter should have. Like, sure, everybody's got a bit of defense, but nobody's using shoulder and
He
hands.
don't bring his hands back. He just leave him here.
He leaves him down a lot.
Okay. He's
Right?
bound to get.
That shows inexperience, and that shows somebody who hasn't been knocked out yet. His first knockout will fix all of that, right? The first lesson when he gets taught is going to be to keep his hands up, because you know what? There's going to be a time where he steps into the ring against somebody who's got a big reach like him, who's a big man just like him. And you know what? He might get knocked. He might be on the other end of that. And then, he'll probably learn to keep his hands up. But
Or
until
somebody teach him.
yeah, or if he's got somebody in his corner that wants to teach him. But right now, the kid's young. Well, he's 29. But the guy.
No, the bottom line is his hands should be up. There's a reason why them hands are there. Somebody's not telling them to keep them up. Yeah, somebody's not telling them. Because if it was me, I would have him like this, elbows against here, and duck his head in, catching everything. If it was me, somebody's not telling them to keep his hands up here. I'm telling you. Any decent trainer will say, no, keep your hands up here because you can get hit with that overhand. Or you got to. Somebody has to be teaching them. Somebody's not teaching them because he's like this.
Right now he resides out of Brooklyn, New York. So, he is from Uzbekistan. He has relocated to Brooklyn, New York. So hopefully we get to see him.
Well, he just signed that multi-fight deal with Top Rank. This is the first one, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And funny enough, Jared Anderson and Richard Torres Jr. are all signed to Top Rank. So,
Oh yeah, and are you kidding me? Bob Abrams got the friggin' market hooked on that shit, bro. Listen, any of these what you call blue chip prospects, he's already got his hooks in them, man. He gets them all first. But that's what it's like when you're the big dog on campus, I guess, right? You're the big dog in the fight game, the big promoter. The one that's been around forever. This guy's what is he? 90 years old now?
91.
91. Yeah,
Bob Arum.
Bob
Arum,
91, eh? Wow.
I was always cool with Bob.
Hey, Neil, this would be a good time
Bob.
for you to ask Tim that question you were asking before.
Oh, yes.
Usyk's first fight.
Yeah, we were talking about the Usyk Dubois confrontation, big battle this weekend, Tim. And I made a point.
Usyk.
Yeah, Usyk and Dubois, right?
Okay.
And I had made a comment that your second cousin Chaz was his first heavyweight opponent when Usyk went from cruiserweight to heavyweight. And I did watch the fight. I did some research about your second cousin. And I know you helped him out with some trainers, Randy and another guy had said.
I didn't help him out. I was still fighting, and he was waiting for me to retire. It was only a couple of months, and inexperience. Somebody around him talked him into just going to these two brothers, who I'm cool with them, but I knew that he was making the wrong move. I knew me and him together could have made a whole lot of money, and he would have been more successful. And he went with them, and I was like, wow, I retired, I'm ready. And this is results. I know he would have went much further than where he went. Could have possibly won the championship if we would have worked together. And television and everything would have really. Tim Witherspoon, Chaz Witherspoon, that would have been big.
Did he mention anything about that fight to you? Like how he felt after the fight? I know he retired in the 7th. But did he say anything about Usyk to you?
He hasn't talking to me since those days. We was training, and his dad called me a couple of times. Maybe they feel a certain way. I don't know. They know I'm a good guy. They can talk to me anytime. But I knew that we could have made it big together if he would have just. I'm not saying it was jealousy or anything like that. Why didn't they come to me? Why didn't they contact me? I was like kind of like, wow. And everybody was asking me, why ain't you with Chaz? And I had no excuse. I couldn't tell people. Even in England, I was in Ireland. They said, how come you're not training Chaz? I know, listen, those brothers that trained them, I know I'm a way better trainer them. I respect them. They're nice guys, but they didn't have defense. They're not heavyweights. And I just said, wow, we could have really did a lot together, especially over in England.
Yeah, well, like I said, I was, I knew you had a cousin, that was a fighter, But man, he had a really good career too. You know, he was 23-0 to start it off, and he was doing well. You know what I mean? So he only lost 4. He was 38-4, something like that, Tim. So he had a good career, but that was his last fight. He retired after that Usyk loss. So I just thought maybe, I don't know.
You know,
maybe
he's very intelligent. He went to college. He was in university, and he's smart. And that first, he know how to manage his money. He's like a brainiac. He knows how to manage his money. He's a really nice guy and stuff like that. He's not like he's not street guy. He's like a guy that you meet in the office.
Yeah,
He's a really nice guy. But in boxing, and another thing too, I heard they was talking to Layla Ali people, and they was always calling them and not me, and they was getting information from him. They was getting information from them, and I had people ready to just go in and fulfill with anything they needed, but they was calling Layla Ali's husband, talking to them all the time. This is what everybody was telling me, and I think it was the name. It was the Ali name they was talking to, but not the skills. You know, they could have called me. We had people, we had a team, but they was calling them because of Layla and the name. That's what happened. Wow. They was calling whoever her husband name. What's her husband's name? They was calling him and talking to him, trying to get information. And I was like, why are they doing that? No disrespect. I love them guys. I love Layla and her husband. I love them guys. Yeah, but that's what happened. They was calling people that was big, that but didn't know boxing, didn't know how to box and train, and so that led them in the wrong direction. I had to answer questions everywhere. Why ain't you with Chaz? Why I was in England? How come you're not with him? Yeah. It was like I wasn't a good skills. I didn't have skills, and I had to justify why I wasn't with him. I said, well, this is what I did real quick. This was the excuse. Well, I was retiring. I was getting ready to retire, and they didn't wait. They couldn't wait, and they went. That's what I was telling people. Right. But really, I think it was the name, and they went somewhere, and they found out really what it really, they found out what they was looking for. He's a nice kid. He's a nice kid.
Yeah, well, like I said, I mean, I would have thought you would have had a little.
The Hitton brothers. The Hitton brothers. That's who the trainers was. Was it Gary Hitton? Wayne Hitton. It was Wayne.
Yeah, Wayne and Larry. I had her name here. They're here. Yeah. 2 brothers.
Yeah, they pretty nice too. They pretty good. Yeah, one of the brothers did pretty good. He was a pretty good boxer too.
Right. Yeah. But it's funny how it says online that you actually did the hookup for those 2 guys, and I thought, yeah, but Tim, your trainer was, his last name was Robinson, was it not? Robinson?
Slim was the best.
Slim Robinson or something.
Oh yeah. Emmanuel Stewart, Tommy Hearns' trainer, I was confused because he gave Slim a lot of respect, and I stood there. I was in there. We was in camp together, and I heard him asking Slim stuff like he didn't know nothing and I was like scratching my head. I'm saying Tommy Hearns is one of the top guys, and he giving my trainer all this respect. I'm like, and asking him stuff to do. He was asking him what to do. I was confused. I'm saying, here it is, Emmanuel Stewart. Tommy Hearns made him big stock, but here's his trainer asking my trainer all kind of stuff. What should I do? What should I do? This and that. And I was like, and not talk about Tommy. I love him. I was in camp with him. Tommy did not have a defense. He was all offense. And I don't think Emmanuel Stewart knew a lot of good defense, because Tommy you fight Tommy, he will knock your head off. But if you catch him, the fight is over. He'll fight you. If you notice, he didn't do this and nothing. He just was getting hit. But offensively, and I love Tommy, he will gun you down. He will gun you down.
It's funny you said that, Tim, because I was watching one of my old favorite fighters, Aaron Pryor, recently. And Emmanuel Stewart took over and only trained him 1 fight. Later in his career, he only trained him 1 fight, they were saying. And Emmanuel said, because he doesn't have any defense, I can't have, and yet you're telling me that he wasn't really a defensive trainer.
Wait a minute.
He was all offense prior. We all know that.
He moved a lot, and he didn't get hit a lot. So when you get tired, you have to go to that old time stuff, putting your hands up. Now, there's a lot of movement. You move around, and you got natural movement, and you can move around, right?
Yeah.
But when you get a little fatigued, you're going to need to learn how to block, how to slip, how to get inside. So a lot of
Right.
guys have natural movement and they can't teach nobody when they retire.
Right.
So they
Mhm.
can't teach nobody when they retire. But
Right.
that's the thing. That's the thing. You now me, I was taught how to just lay there, catch stuff, slip hair, cup like that, put your hands up, block. Okay. So I didn't have to move around. You know, I was comfortable
Mhm.
right there because I knew how to block, slip there, catch it, and counter back. There's a lot of guys that don't know how to do that, you know, and there's guys that move a lot. Name some of the
Mhm.
guys that's really good at it, like Camacho. He was good at that.
Macho.
Mhm.
Floyd Mayweather,
Yeah.
he can't teach this. He can't teach this, but he move.
Right.
He can get out the way. He move.
Prince
And
Nassim.
Aaron Pryor,
Prince
They,
Nassim.
And Aaron Pryor, yeah.
Prince Nassim. But it's going to be hard for him to teach that
Yeah.
natural movement.
Yeah,
And
that
look
natural
at boxing
dance style.
today.
That natural
Mhm.
dance style is not going to be repeated. You won't see that ever again. He did it flawlessly, and
You have to be in shape.
yeah,
Because if you're in a little bit lesser shape, you're going to
Yeah.
get it. They're
Yeah.
going to get you. You
Yeah.
have to be in good shape. Floyd Mayweather is in top shape all the time. I seen him demonstrating, and it wasn't like he was fighting. It
No.
wasn't when he demonstrated, he didn't demonstrate the way he fight. So I was like, wow, he's got to be in top shape all the time.
Mhm.
Because if he was in a little bit lesser shape, he could be in trouble.
Yeah.
Because if you notice, he don't sit there and go boom, boom. He'll like move a lot. He'll catch some of them. He's got natural radar.
Yeah.
Natural radar.
It's that don't get hit radar.
Yeah. You see him, but he can't teach nobody.
No, you can't. You
I
can't.
hate to say this because I love everybody. I seen him demonstrating, and I said, "Oh God, okay, he's another one. He's another one. He got natural ability,
Yeah.
and sometimes you can't teach that. You can't teach it.
Right.
No. Well, like I said, I was watching a bit of that Aaron Pryor stuff just quick and we'll end it all. Man, that first Arguello fight, Pryor and Arguello, holy cow. I'm telling you, Tim, those guys
I
can
know.
take a punch. And then I was like, and then the two again, right? They had the fight two. But man, Arguello was a
Yes,
tough
he
mech.
was.
Oh my gosh, was that guy tough? And Pryor surprised me because he took some vicious shots. And the funny thing about him was he get hit where he basically knock anybody else out, but he would throw harder shots after he got the super shots. You know what
His
I mean?
punching was awkward too.
I don't know, man. You guys out there anywhere in Talkin
No.
Fight land, Tim will tell you. If you want to watch a really fun fight, Aaron Pryor and Alexis Arguello was over the
Yeah.
top.
There's a lot of
Arguello
movement.
was
There's a lot of
amazing.
guys
Wow.
out there. You might get fooled because they move a lot and don't get hit. But when it comes time for them to show you, they can't because it's natural. And so a lot of people in the boxing world, they be
Right.
watching, so wow, he got a good defense. But he has to be able to teach the same thing when he retire, if he's going to be a trainer or help a group of people. So this is what I did. I learned. There is natural movement that you move naturally and get out of the way of punches. You have to be real good at that, and you have to be in good shape. And what about the guys that's slow? What about the guys that can't do that natural stuff? They're going to have to settle down and learn how to block a punch. Boom, come over top like this, slip over here. They have to learn the old time stuff. A lot of those guys passed away. I keep saying it, and it's harsh. You can't find it that much around. But Emmanuel Stewart, if you watch him train with the pads, I'm just saying. I just watched him train with the pads. He was like, and his nephew, Tyson Fury, got his nephew. And I love everybody, but boxing people want to hear these things. You know, I don't want to talk bad about. I love everybody. I don't want to talk bad. You know, you see him. I seen him holding the pads. I said, oh God. Okay, Tommy Hearns knocked out all those guys and made them big. Now there's another guy. Wait a minute. I'm getting old, guys. I'm getting old. Let me see. What about okay, forget it. Hey, I'm not forgetful, but it's gonna come to me.
One of our other hosts had I don't know, one of the best fighters, as we all know, ever in the history of fighting, on her show a couple of weeks ago here at Talkin Fight. She had her name's Brooke Deerdorf. she had Roy Jones Jr., interviewed Roy Jones Jr. for Talkin Fight. And it was an amazing, amazing interview talking to Roy Jones Jr. I was so blown away. But he mentioned one thing that really stuck with me as far as fighters, and I never really realized this, but maybe you can explain it a little more. He said everything he ever did started with his feet. With his feet. He said his footwork was where I forget the exact question she asked him, but he said it was all about footwork, at least for him.
I don't think so. It helps
you. You guys actually have footwork.
No, it helps you. It helps you. When people start talking about footwork, I'll be scratching my head. I'll be saying, yeah, that could help you. That could help you and everything. But yeah, it can help you. But not like when somebody throwing punches at. Yeah, it can. You can move out the way. But a lot of old timers never said a lot about footwork. Now these younger guys today talking about footwork, and I'll be like, I don't know I wonder what he's talking about. But you see a lot of old timers did have some footwork, but they never talked about it. That you got taught. Just remember this. You never seen them like, oh yeah, Sugar Ray Robinson had some really good footwork, but you don't hear trainers really. When I was in the gyms, and I never heard footwork. Right. Now I do. I never heard footwork when I was at the old Passion gym where Sylvester Stallone, he made the movie and stuff. That gym, I was in that gym up there when I first started. I never heard. I just heard the trainers put your feet here, get your balance right. But I never heard them teaching somebody footwork.
Right. Okay, I never heard it either. I thought it was just natural.
Huh?
I thought footwork was kind of natural, right? Do they train footwork? That's all.
Yeah. What did Ali do? Ali did.
Exactly. It was natural, but he also, I don't know.
Yeah, but I never heard a old-time trainer say something like footwork. But he did teach you how to plant your feet, get the foundation right. But he never said anything more than that. And he showed you how to move forward, move backwards, move sideways, but not like the Sugar Ray Robinson where he moved and Ali do the shuffle. What you mean by footwork, though? Anyway, what you mean by footwork? I want somebody to tell me.
Neil?
Footwork as in being able to use the ring to your advantage with your feet and be able to throw combination punches with your feet in different positions.
Footwork means being light on your feet.
They never told me. They never told me about footwork when they just told us where to put the feet and which ways to move, but not to dance like Ali. Is that what you mean? Like to dance like Ali? Or something?
like do they train that? Do you guys train for that stuff, or you either got it or you don't? I guess, right?
No, I think you can get toward that. When you.
Oh, we lost him, or he frozen.
Oh well. Footwork.
Oh, before I forget.
Miyamoto
in action this weekend, guys. Our girl Miyamoto.
Yeah.
Before I forget.
Yep.
Talkin Fight is live streaming a fight tomorrow out of South Africa.
Yes, 8 a.m.
We're looking forward to live streaming one fight a week.
Yes.
When Tim comes back, I'm going to ask him about Francois. We in the West call it Botha, but apparently, according to the people in South Africa, it's Boeta. But anyway, he's a former heavyweight. He fought Mike Tyson.
Okay.
Anyway, he's organizing a fight a week for us
to
live stream. So the first one will be tomorrow.
So shout out to Miyamoto taking on Ellen Simwaka to defend her IBO World Super Bantam title.
Yep.
In undercard action, we got Jerome Pampoloni, same camp, looking to fight, taking on Luvillo Cizani for the IBF Intercontinental Light Heavy Championship that's vacant. Hopefully our man Jerome brings that title back to Peach Boxing, where they're producing nothing but champions over there. Also, Lanny Daniels, heavyweight, taking on Rizal Mohammed for the IBF World Heavy title, guys. So there's some more action you can watch. This one's Saturday the 26th. This one is Event Finda Stadium, Auckland, New Zealand, where you will find this fight.
Nice.
Yes. Just thought I'd mention that. Definitely, we're behind Mia and everything that she's doing for women's boxing. coming through, kicking ass, taking taking names and kicking ass, man. Let's be honest.
And she have 5 kids or something like that.
Yes, single mother of 5. And now
Incredible.
in her professional boxing career, she is 16-0 with 6 KOs. Also set history by becoming the first 4-division New Zealand women's champion.
Wow.
This girl is setting records, and I'm glad to say that I introduced her to Talkin Fight. And right after she turned pro, man, she's gone up 5 different weight classes and kicked ass in every single one. So, shout out to her. That division, I must say, that super bantam, there's a lot of belts up for grabs there. There's going to be some definite, kicking ass here, man. She's gonna definitely come up that super bantam championship weight list there and just start taking these belts and accumulating them all. Can't wait.
Wow, had to get back.
Yes, you got back.
Prediction.
You see that?
For the weekend.
Oh,
you're back. You got me back on.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. You hear me?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I'm sorry. I got to get this thing right.
Yeah.
Shania, help me. I don't know if the battery going dead. Oh, man, that was good what y'all was talking about.
So we're going to do Graham, Tim, guys, are we going to do some predictions for these big fights this weekend? Does everybody have a prediction? Like the big ones?
I think Usyk's going to beat Dubois.
The Chargers over there.
I think if it goes to the cards, yeah. But I think Dubois has a puncher's chance to knock him out. I'm not going to say he doesn't.
Yeah.
Every fighter has that chance, but
it depends how hard you can punch.
That's right. That's right.
Depends where you punch. I like the liver shots personally.
Oh, there's been a lot of those lately.
See, everybody was talking. Plug it in, Shania. Everybody talking about, like me and Brian, my marketing guy for the YouTube channel, was talking about the liver punch. They never taught us about the liver punch, but I went through it with them just so people could know. Where my trainer never told me about a liver, he just said the area, and other trainers never. But they did talk about the solar plexus.
Oh
yeah. That's one thing I did hear a lot about.
The one that'll make you
if you hit there, there's no muscle there, and you can hurt them.
Yeah,
but
nobody
deliberately say about the liver. I did hear it some, but not. They really didn't emphasize a lot about it.
Yeah.
Well, I like it when it happens.
Nothing like a good gut shot, man, to make you feel good,
make you feel sleepy.
You gonna be watching the fight this weekend, Tim? The big fight.
What fight is it?
Alexander Usyk versus Daniel Dubois.
Oh, Daniel Dubois. Who did Daniel Dubois fought before? He fought the big fight over in England. Who did he fight? Not Joshua. He fought Joshua. Did he fight you?
His only loss was to Joe Joyce.
Oh, Joe Joyce. Okay, Joe Joyce.
Who broke his orbital bone. So that's why I say, if Usyk's got a chance, he's going to go for that same orbital bone.
If you don't know how to fight movers, it's going to be complicated. Yeah. And I talked about it on the show before. You go to the movers, you go to the body. And later on in the fight, you try to get to the head. Mm-hmm. The body is so easy to hit. And they move this way, you just touch that. If they move that way, you touch that. That gives your brain confidence. At least I'm touching them. Then you got to go hard on them. I said this before on the show, that Mike the Bounty Hunter was one of the best movers. He made Tyson mad. He made all these other guys mad. And we found out a way to slow him down. We went to the body. You got to be in shape, too. Because Yusuf just moves. You got to be in shape to keep that pressure on him. And you'll definitely get him. And keep your defense tight. So that's important. You got to put pressure. You got to be in shape and put pressure. Going to body is big. But this head is a smaller target. Touch everything. That's confidence. You're touching this. You're touching this. The mover going to be like, he's going to be mad because you're touching him. He don't want to get touched. I'm serious. He don't want the bounty hunter cussed me out. He cussed them out. He said, "You fuck you." He was cussing the bounty hunter. That's my man. Do you ever heard of Mike the Bounty Hunter?
Oh yeah, I heard of him. Oh yeah.
He was a good mover, man.
Really?
And he cussed Slim out. He got mad at me. He took his headgear off and threw it at Slim and got out. Ask Tyson. He was sparring with Tyson before and Tyson couldn't get him.
Yeah, man.
I think he finally got him, but somebody told me that he was also making Tyson like angry. Just take Mike the Bounty Hunter and watch his movement.
Yeah,
he was
Hunter
hard to hit.
Hunter was 26-7-2.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch him?
I saw the way he moved. He was like, oh man, it's weird. He kind of moved kind of like, like you couldn't touch this guy.
All different kinds of
Yeah.
ways.
He he was doing that whole like, hey man, I'm gonna limbo right under that shot and bang bang bang. Yo, he was just come back.
He would switch feet. He would make his lead fit and go in the back, then go this way. And all you got to do is go to the body right here.
Yeah.
So if his hand's out there, just slap that. Because mentally, he don't want to get touched, right? He want to be, I'm pretty, don't touch me. But if you touch something, it'll register in his brains. Oh, man, okay, you got me, touch him on the shoulder. You ain't even got to touch him hard. Push him, hit him, and then you got to rough him up eventually. You do have to try to rough him up. He got mad. He cussed everybody out. We was in Don King's camp. He got mad and cussed everybody out.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you're picking Dubois.
Yeah.
Dubois has to come back. Didn't he lose?
Honestly, he's finished all 4 fights since returning after that broken orbital.
Yeah.
Oh, he went through 4 fights.
So I think his orbital's all right.
Hey, listen, your opinion is just as good as mine. I mean, I'm not up on things, and I do believe though that Youssef has a lot of big fights that he could be in up, in front of him. And he's going to take Dubois serious. I do believe that Dubois don't know how to deal with his movement.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't think so either. I don't think he does.
I don't think Dubois could deal with his movement. He might be strong. He might could get shots in there, but Youssef is not coming to lose, and he's going to do that movement, that same old movement. And if you don't have somebody telling you how to deal with that movement, it's going to be really complicated.
And he's got him. He's outweighed him by like almost 14 pounds. So
Dubois don't put pressure on people. No. He just boxes.
He's a boxer.
You got to put pressure on Youssef.
Well, see, here's the thing. Usyk's going to come forward. Usyk's a forward fight. He's a front foot fighter, man. He's going to come forward. He's going to bring that fight to Dubois. And it's going to be up to Dubois to literally stand his ground and fight him. Because, Dubois is not a runner. He's not good at running away. Right? So this is going to be a good match. And I think we're going to see a good battle here. But let's be real, man. It's, Ukrainian Independence Day. He's got, the hometown crowd's going to be in Poland watching him. That has a lot to do, too. You got Dubois, who's coming into another country. He's the enemy. That's what it's going to be. Every time he gets in there, walking out to the ring, he's going to get booed. Every time he does something, he's going to get booed. It's in Poland.
Oh, Poland.
Yeah, it's in Poland. So,
yeah.
So what about Baby Anderson,
Jared,
guys?
all
Just
the way.
quick. Anybody got prediction?
Yeah, Jared's going to rock
Big
this
Baby. Tim, you know about Anderson? Jared Anderson?
He's fighting that African dude.
No, he's fighting in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Okay, who is he fighting?
He's fighting a Ukrainian guy. Funny enough, Rudenko.
Okay,
Rudenko.
I think I've seen him before.
He's a tough guy.
Rudenko's a tough
guy.
Well, I did see a little bit of Baby Anderson. I mean, I know you love him too. I know you love him, Mike. But I did see him when they started throwing punches at him that he got a little confused at one point.
He did. But he's only been brought the distance once in his career. And what we were all impressed by, which I was impressed by, that he didn't look uncomfortable. He looked very comfortable going the distance. You could see in the corner, his corner's like, listen, the knockout's not going to happen. So now we're just going to finish the fight and win this on points.
Okay.
He went out and he did exactly what his corner did and told him. And that's one thing. This is not, as much as they say it's a single man sport and you're the man in there, if you don't listen to your corner and what your corner is telling you, then,
How many rounds was left when he told him the knockout's not going to come?
I think there was.
I would never tell my boxer that a knockout that's not going to come.
Well, he said you're not going to finish him. You're not going to finish him quick because he wasn't able to. He gave him everything that he had. The guy just ate it. He was just coming forward. He was just one of those relentless fighters where, no matter how much you throw, the later you get, you're getting tired. You haven't been these rounds before yet. Yeah.
I respect that, but I would never tell my boxer that if a knockout is never going to come.
Well, yeah, okay.
I would never tell him that. I'm just
I
saying,
thought
I
that
would
was
never
kinda
tell him,
confusing
hey,
too,
no,
too.
the knockout not's going to come, so just try to do this. I'm not going to tell a boxer that. No, I'm not.
No, okay.
I'm not going to say that.
No, well, this is what he was told.
I'm not down on you. You my partner. We family.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I would never tell him the knockout's not going to come.
I was just impressed the way he was able to listen, because there's a lot of these fighters that don't listen. They had a game plan. The game plan was here. We're going to do this. We're going to execute it this way. It didn't end up working out that way. So they went to plan B, and plan B was, hey, just finish strong. And that's what he did. He came out, he finished strong. So, don't look for the knockout, but if the knockout comes, do it. But don't worry about that. Just finish this fight. Finish it strong. He did it, and he looked comfortable doing it. So we know he can be brought the distance, but let's be real. This kid doesn't like to go the distance. He doesn't like to work overtime. He's going to look to finish it quick. And I think he's going to come through real fast here, man. Rodinu, like this kid, he's 40 years old. This is his last run, okay?
There's a 16-year difference between the two, right?
In 2006, man. He's a 40-year-old fighter. He's there, like, but he hasn't taken on too many people, man. He's fought only really in the Ukraine, Poland, Germany. He's fought in Russia. So he's never really been, he fought Lucas Brown back in 2014. There's a name that we know, right? And Huey Fury. So Lucas Brown, Huey Fury, back-to-back losses, and then he goes on a 7-fight streak here, but of nobody's, right? And then
I'm not doubting you because we partners, but finishing strong is almost like telling them to try to knock them out.
Okay.
Finishing up strong. No, I'm just language. Yeah. Finish up strong is almost like saying, try to take it to him. Try to take it to him in our language.
Yeah.
Like try to get him or something like that. Finishing up strong, maybe look good until the bell rings.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
This guy he's also lost to Ajit Kabilyo. He's lost to Zeli Zhang. He lost to Vladislav Surenko. So, Jared Anderson, I think he's gonna have a tough time with Jared Anderson. I think Jared Anderson is just gonna bring it to this guy. I don't think we're gonna see too much of a fight. I don't think it's going the distance.
When is this fight?
This one's tomorrow night. Start 10:30 ESPN.
So who I gotta talk to, the mafia boss to get the I gotta start like I keep saying over and over again, watch these fights and get involved with the youth.
Yeah, man.
The youth, the boxing.
There's a lot of good ones coming up. Definitely.
A lot of good heavyweights, Tim. Like you're an expert, right? So these kids are good. We got a good one in Canada here, a couple of good ones here in Canada. There's great ones in the United States, obviously. There's a couple in Britain. Like there's a really
I bet you they all good offense too. They all good offensively, right?
Yeah, all good offense.
That's right. That's it. I don't see much defense out of any of them.
Back in the day, I'm telling you, back in the day. That's why I see it right off the bat. And I'll be like, it probably sounds like a broken record to maybe you guys or other people, but that's the first thing I see. I'm like, oh God, this guy got to keep his hand up.
Hopefully their trainers are listening. You know what I mean, Tim? Hopefully their trainers are listening to you.
There's no defense nowadays. You got to have both. I was in the gym the other day. There was this. I was in. Matter of fact, I started going back to my son's gym because I was in. I'm gonna make it public. I was in Joe Hands. Joe Hands, if you ever know, he was a boxing promoter. I was going to his gym because me and my son, it was just too crowded and it was too frustrated. He was trying to get things done. So I just left out the gym and I started going to Joe Hands. Then I had this other little Spanish nice guy. I tell him I love him after it was over. But I was telling him real quick, when your back is against the rope, when your opponent back is against the rope, that's his support. Look, I learned from some of the good guys. I'm going to tell you this. Your opponent back is against the rope. That's his support, right? And I told him, tell your boxer to go to the side of the rope so he'll turn away from his support. The ropes is here.
Right.
So if he go this side or that side, he's turning away from his support. Fight him on the side. So he got mad at me, started getting loud at me and said, yo, blah, blah. And then you wind up to, I said, no, it's not like that. Your opponent got his back against the rope. That's his support. He could bounce and punch you and everything. But when you step to the side,
You can't do that.
no, you step to the side, you losing your support. Either side. So when you boxers out there, when you approach somebody and you're back on and your opponent back on the ropes, don't fight him too much in front of him. Go to the side of the ropes so he turned away from his support.
Play the angle.
The kid got mad at me because he didn't know all that, and he started talking all that. You blah blah blah. So I said, you know what? I've been going to gyms, and I don't want to get them upset. I said, I love you, brother. I walked out the gym. I've been going to my son's gym, training my grandson. And we get ready to do something with Tommy Morrison's wife on next Wednesday. She's coming in town. We're gonna talk about Tommy, the Duke Morrison. Yeah. Did he get killed?
I love Tommy.
Did they poison? Did he die from age, or did he get poisoned, or something like that? So she's going to come in. They're coming in town on Wednesday, and somebody from Canada, somebody's from England is coming in. Yeah. And they're going to do some video, and we're going to talk about Tommy Morrison. I think they got the money, guys, to make his movie or whatever it is. His wife called me up, and they're coming in. So,
Nice.
Just talk to me like Monday or Tuesday to see because they would probably like to give some information now, and I can let you know on Friday or whatever. Yeah. So that's what we're doing this week coming up.
Awesome.
That's awesome, Tim. That's awesome.
We've run into.
Well, it was keeping me busy. He won't let me know the secrets of all this. You got the secrets of the getting the fights and everything. I'm gonna have to come up there.
All right.
I'm gonna have to.
Well,
okay.
I guess that's it, right? Nice long show today.
How much time is it?
We're at an hour and 12 minutes. It was a good one.
Whoa, that was beautiful. Yeah. Just remember, guys, defense is just as important as offense.
Yes.
Just remember that. I'm going to say that every show.
Yeah.
Defense is just as good as offense. Some guys made it with just offense, but if you try to talk to them when they retire, you might not understand their words. Hey, it's the truth.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well said.
Well,
guys,
my opinion.
I guess that's it for today's show. Well, thank you for all the fans that are watching around the world. Thank you for everybody who's going to tune in later on when they download it off Podbean. Thank you to everybody, all the fans. If we weren't, if you guys weren't here, we wouldn't be doing this. We're doing it for you. We got to go get to work so you guys don't have to. We will be back on Sunday with the knockout of the week. Make sure you join us for that. Also, remember, fighting solves everything. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Okay.